Hey everybody, welcome back to another daily drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm THI publisher Andrew Jones, and the topic today is not Carolina football and the coaching search, it's Carolina basketball. Oh yeah, Carolina basketball season is a month into the fold. So we are a month into Carolina basketball. Monday night was the 4 weeks from the Elon game. So it's it, man. Knee-deep Carolina hoops, but there's so much going on with football right now with Mac Brown being fired and the current coaching search and all the other things that we're having to dig for. And by the way, if you did not catch us on our promo where you could have gotten THI for a year for 75% off, which is just $208 a month, $2.08, you can still get it for $833 a month, which is still a fantastic deal. And this is the great season to give. Everybody loves to give this time of year, so give some family, loved one, friends, whoever, a subscription to Tar Heel Illustrated, and you would be knee deep in what's going on in the coaching search. And we put out all those rumors every day on our boards, and only members of our community can access that information. Now on to basketball. Carolina's assist to turnover problem in Maui is on Hubert Davis's mind. So Monday we had a press conference at the Smith Center with just Hubert, no players, just Hubert. And I asked him the first question, and it had to do with analytics and stats, because Hubert has said over the years he doesn't really rely very heavily on analytics or statistics, although he has said recently a couple of times he'll use them to validate his point. Like his gut will tell him, his mind will tell him what he saw, and then he'll look at the stats and he'll use them to validate his point with his players, because numbers do not lie. So I asked him sort of a wider range question about analytics, about statistics, about how often he uses them, and to really get down to it. And then my follow-up question was, okay, so what did you take statistically from an analytics standpoint from Hawaii, from Maui, that's a concern, and use that to teach the players? He went right into assists and turnovers, because in the first 4 games, Carolina had 67 assists as a team, just 31 turnovers. That's a more than 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio for the team, which is pretty damn good. And it led to 36 points off turnovers for opponents. That's good. That's, all things considered, that's pretty good. Now you go to Hawaii, you go to Maui, 3 games against Dayton, Auburn, and Michigan State, and I recognize that's a tougher contingent than what they faced in 3 of the first 4 games. They did go to Kansas, but in those 3 games in Maui, 35 assists and 36 turnovers. And it led to 47 points off turnovers. So 11 more points off turnovers in those 3 than in the previous 4. And 5 more turnovers in those 3 than the previous 4, but the assists were way down. There was a lot of erratic play. We talked about that a lot last week. A lot of you have commented on our Facebook page, on Twitter, on our message boards about sort of the chaotic play, the get the ball, it's my turn to dribble and drive and one type stuff. And I thought that was a real problem in lengthy stretches in Maui. And it's one of the reasons the assist numbers were down. In addition, there weren't nearly as many kickouts for threes on the perimeter as we had seen in the first 4 games. And this team, I think, needs to shoot more threes to compensate for a lack of being very good inside, is points in transition and 3-pointers. And this team has the ability to do that, to offset that some. But they didn't do it enough in Maui. They scored plenty of points, but they scored, 92 in the first game, 90 in the third game, 72. Auburn's outstanding defensively held them to 72 points. But this is part of an issue. It all kind of intertwines. So often we would see Elliot Cadeau or Seth Trimble or R.J. Davis, Ian Jackson when he was in the game. They get the ball on the perimeter. It's like, look around, clear out, fellas, boom, 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 I'm going in. And when that happens, you're not going to have many assists. When that happens, missed shots sometimes are turned into easy points the other way, or you have a turnover that's turned into easy points. What I find to be alarming, and this is a separate statistic, but it kind of plays into this because we saw how they played in the first half at Kansas. In the first half of games against Kansas and the 3 in Maui, Carolina's been outscored in points off turnovers 44-8. 44-8. What we saw in Maui was something very similar to that. Kansas had a pretty good run with points off turnovers to Carolina's, but it all stems to the lack of assists. Lack of assists, more turnovers. That means things aren't connecting. That means things aren't flowing. And that means the team is not playing as it should, as it's designed to play. Now, very quickly, one of the culprits, Elliot Cadeau, had a rough week. He had some really good stretches, and I like the fact that he kept battling, and he was better in the second halves of games generally than the first. He did get in some early foul trouble in some of those, but he had 12 turnovers in Maui. 14 assists, 12 turnovers. He's a much better player than that. We will see a better version of Elliott moving forward. The big men had 10 turnovers, but Jalen Washington had 6 of them. He just didn't play well. You can't get screened. When you're a club that's very guard heavy, you can't afford for big men to get foul setting screens. That's a turnover. And the other team, if they score, those are points off of that turnover. And Jalen's got to be better. He's got to set more solid screens, A, so he doesn't commit the foul and make it a turnover that the ball goes to the other team. B, so his teammate, whoever the guard is, can adequately use the screen. Armando Bacot became a great screener at North Carolina. Jay Wash is not yet there. Hubert said he was a really good screener back in October. We haven't seen that consistently yet. I think Van Allen Lubin has a chance to be this team's best screener, what I've seen so far, and you might see more of him moving forward. So that was Hubert's answer. When I asked him about analytics, about statistics, and what did he take away from Hawaii, in which the statistics and analytics told him this is important, this validates what you saw and helps make the point you need to make to the players, he went right to this. Assist to turnover problem and the points scored off of those turnovers. One more time, the numbers: 35 assists, 36 turnovers, 47 points off turnovers. North Carolina is better than that, can be better than that, should be better than that. I think will be better than that moving forward. It has been a point of emphasis the last few days since they got back to the mainland. If you're excited about Carolina improving its assist to turnover rate, cutting down on those points off turnovers, go ahead and click like on this video. Or if you're excited about the fact that Hubert gave a really, really good answer, I think in fact, a lot of his answers Monday were very, very good. A very thorough answer. You're sort of into the insight on one of the things that they've been hammering home the last few days. Go ahead and click like on this video. Make sure you subscribe to our channel if you have not done so. Make sure you tell all your Carolina fans that we're here. Remember, guys, you can still get a great deal. $8.33 a month is fantastic. Go ahead and get gifts for friends, family, loved ones, whoever. It's that time of year, the gift-giving time of year. So give your loved ones TarHeelIllustrated.com for a year, just $8.33 a month. And also make sure you hit the notification bell so you get updates every time we upload, which is often. I'm AJ, and I'll see you tomorrow.